Hello, ladies and gents, and welcome back to Week 6, Pool C of the Ubers UU Draft League. We're starting today off with Icy Scream versus Steel 016. And Steel here has a very scary draft with a lot of powerful mons. A lot of mons I myself have on my team. But that was kind of the problem you just saw right there, is he doesn't really have something to stop Palafin. Now, you get to see a really cool set here with Sunny Day Landorus that I absolutely love, but he didn't commit to the bit and bring Weather Ball to complement it. He just brought what can I think? Cerulege. Yeah, he just brought the Cerulege to take part of the sun and the resistance of water the sun provides. Overall, this was a 4-0 victory from Icy Scream, with Palafin getting 4 of the kills and Swampert getting 2. It's a good day for ice types under Icy. Let's see who's up next. Well, the last game may have had a Sableye. This game is being led by Sableye, that one Sableye specifically, versus my boy, the currently undefeated Incredible King from the Swadloon Saloon. And you see right there, this game actually went on quite long. This is a 51 turn game, which is quite long for the draft league. It's not the longest. I believe we got a 100 turn game that ended with 4 Skarmory kills a couple weeks back. But what you see here is just, so this game started off with 3 dead mons in the first 4 turns, with just Kilowattrel, Annihilate, and the Deoxys all dying. But then once you got down to just Melodic Dondozo, that's such a powerful core that just takes absolutely forever to whittle down. But King was able to do it and secure himself a 5-0 victory. Dragonite getting 3 kills, Comfey 1, the Kilowattrel of course killing the Annihilate before dying, and the Deoxys Speed blasting the Kilowattrel with an Ice Beam. Overall though, King played really well. Sableye, I believe, is out of the playoffs at this point in time with his record. And let's see where we go now. And we're back with Ruben versus Ocean. Ruben bringing the absolute evil that is a stall team to a draft league, while Ocean has a team full of threats with his Zapdos, his potentially Belly Drum Azumarill, the Mon he claims is a threat of Low Kicks, and then, of course, Necrozma Duskmane, as much as he wants to hate it, is a very powerful Mon. And just throughout this sheer force that all of his Mons can pop out, besides Low Kicks, who gets 0 kills this week, he's able to whittle down, just whittle down the stall core that Ruben provides. And even though Ruben eventually gets all of the PP drain from the Zapdos Hurricane, it's not enough. It still just has Thunderbolt that is clicking, doing tons of value. Overall, Ruben played well. Ruben, you're a monster for bringing Stall to a draft league, but you also played fairly well, and you just sometimes have a bad matchup, and that's what you had here. Looking forward to see how you perform in future weeks. Izzy, where to begin? So, this is Izzy's last game as a part of the draft league, as after this game, they decided it wasn't worth the mental stress, so they retired from the draft league, which is sad because Izzy was a fantastic player and did incredibly well throughout the draft league. This was not an example of that. This was a game that ended up in a 3-0 victory for Mushroom, and as you're going to see in a moment, he had an absolute monster of a Mon that just came in and poked the absurd hole in Izzy's team. Necrozma right here. And I know my boy King really wanted this Necrozma, so he was happy to see it work, do work, but sad to see it do work for not him. Porto played incredibly well. He has an incredibly just powerful team, and as we've seen with Embor countless times, if you can have one Mon just kill 3 Mons really early on, nothing else, that's such a huge advantage. The rest of the game suddenly doesn't, if you're up just 1 or 2 Mons early, that's super powerful, as we constantly see throughout this draft league. And Porto was able to exploit the massive hole left in by Necrozma and just able to win the game 3-0. Really clean. Now on to our one and only game of the week. Ladies and gentlemen, we have arrived at the match of the week, Graded versus Toast, and this is a very important match for the both of them, as they're both at 2-3 and really need to win today to secure their playoffs. So let's take a look at some of the threats on each team. So, immediately, the side of Graded, the things that pop out to me are that Kieran White and that Iron Valiant. Deoxys is also a fantastic mon, but for some reason, Deoxys, I think, is a lot less scary when you see some things on Toast side, but I definitely think Kieran White's gonna be strong. If Galvantula can get webs up, that will be quite good. The Terra Captain Tauros might be able to do a lot of work. And overall, I think we're probably gonna see something if Sceptile, maybe the sub Leech Seed set that just walls things to death that I've been seeing a little bit in some games. It's overall, I think Graded has a good team here. The Iron Valiant's a super big threat, and Deoxys as well, but if those can die, Toast has a pretty solid chance. And looking over at the side of Toast, how is he going to deal with this stuff? Landorus is coming, 100%. It is a fantastic mon here. I don't see any way it isn't brought. Next up, the things I see are Baxcalibur, Blissey. Those are also great mons here. Blissey, one of the few things that can actually stop Deoxys, or maybe not stop's the right word, but like not die in one hit to Choice Spec Psycho Boost, besides the Dark types, of course. And then, speaking of those Dark types, Crawdaunt and King Gambit, both very strong Dark types, incredibly powerful priority to clean up late game and prevent the Deoxys from doing a whole lot. Honestly, I might be overrating Deoxys a little bit with how much priority you see. Even Baxcalibur, a mon that's absolutely terrifying here, has Ice Shard, which is quite possibly going to clean up a lot of things. But the major threat of Baxcalibur is, of course, it clicks Dragon Dance and then it wins the game. Other mons I could potentially see are a Chandelure, because nothing likes taking a Shadow Ball besides the Sawsbuck. So a Choice Specs or Choice Scarf Shadow Ball could be really strong. Just generic support Morgrim could be good. One of Wheezing Galar and Pekkarunt are almost certainly coming just for their incredibly good defensive utility. So let's see where we go. So looking at these teams, nothing too incredibly looking that besides maybe the Scovillain. Scovillain does silly things. Moody is banned in this draft league, so it's probably going to be some Sunny Day shenanigans. And then, of course, Donphan is the rocker and just the mon that everyone loves to bring. I think Donphan's overrated as heck, but you've heard me complain about that of time out of mind. That is a Choice Scarf Landorus, by the way. And here we see the power of just packing priority on your team. The Choice Scarf allows it to outspeed and bring it in, and then just having that button available to first is great. Now that's a booster attack Iron Valiant. He is going for the sweep right here, right now. He brings out the Spirit Break to 66, guaranteed special attack drop, and lives the Sludge Wave barely. So he manages to finish it off, but then he just gets forced out by Baxcalibur. And honestly, I don't think that was a good use of the Iron Valiant booster energy. I think it was a huge waste. I think you save it for when that team is weakened, and you clean it off later. Now, I love the Weezing's name. I'm a huge Doug fan myself. But Bulk Up on the... Bulk Up's quite scary coming from the Tauros. It is fire, which is quite fun, which means it's fun seeing the Tauros water to do a Tauros fire impression. There's a lot of Tauroses in this draft, which I find quite weird as well. It's also an awful mon. And it hasn't impressed me, but it may impress me here. Because being at +2 attack is just so much power. Now, we're getting whittled down. He's just whittling it down with poison and sacking every mon to it, apparently. Now, I don't know how much I agree with this Blissey play right here. Sure, you're ticking with poison, and You take about 13%, it looks like, 13 to 17% a turn to the soft boil just with healing. But it's like, you're just losing Blissey. And now with Blissey gone, just Galvantula is really good, Sceptile is really good. Those fast special attackers have so much potential prowess. He brings in the Galadivore Iron Valiant to just finish off the Blissey, and we're so backs, baby. Ice Shard comes in, very clean, finishes off Iron Valiant. We see Great Tusk make an appearance, and Scovillain Ayo What's Up Valiant. It looks like he was trying to come in on something else, but yeah, bad things happen there. So he sets up his own sun, but then he screws himself because he brings in the water type. There's a fun note about this Crawdaunt is it only has attack EVs. He forgot to invest the rest of the stats. Crawdaunt lives the Giga Drain, which is quite huge. It allows it to kill off the Galvantula quite cleanly. It's still faster than the the Meh Tusk Donphan, which is really important here to clean up the game. And then, unfortunately, though, we're so backs, baby. And Ice Shard, the only move he has needed so far this game, and he just keeps pressing it. He brings this is a double sash plus sturdy team. He did not want to get swept, but it didn't matter, because Baxcalibur takes his 4th kill this game. Fantastic play by Toast, even though it was a close game. Even though it was a close game in terms of kills, it never felt out of Toaster's control. He played incredibly well. I'm impressed by his play. Baxcalibur went absolutely wild. If I'm graded here, I'm thinking, why didn't I stop this? Why'd I sack my Iron Val? Why'd I give up so much damage for free every time it came in? Overall, though, fantastic games this week. There's no 6th game because Nemad and PawsChamp did not play. I believe that is being resolved, so you might be able to see that game in a later week. And the last thing I've got to do is designate the Mon of the Week. And while it would be so easy to give it to the Baxcalibur didn't do anything truly special that just a standard Ice Shard Mon. Like, any Mon with Ice Shard could have done this exact same thing. And just clicked it when things were low. So I'm gonna have to say, Mushroom, or Portobello, whatever we're calling them, is Necrozma, has to be Mon of the Week. Fantastic Mon, blowing an absolute massive hole into the opposing team. And the last thing I'm going to show you guys is a blooper from my earlier recording attempts, but besides that, I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and see you later.